Hey guys, so a late question came in for the podcast that we're doing, and I thought it was a really good question, so I actually wanted to make it into a separate video. And so the question was any mobility tips for road trips or when you're stuck in a car for a long time. So my friend Patrick asked this. He's on his way driving back from Florida right now, so I'm going to try and get this posted soon. And so I just want to show you a few things that you can do while you're driving, and then I'll give you a couple of tips that you can do when you get out of the car as well. So when you think about while you're driving, there's a couple things to do. And the first is don't keep your seat in the same spot. In that, you know, we all have our kind of preference as to where we put our seat and our mirrors and everything. And, you know, change that up as you go around. Lean back a little bit more, bring the seat up a little bit more upright, go back further, come up further, play around with your foot position, you know, left foot, use cruise control when you can to make sure you can get here. A lot of people with back pain let that left leg extend way up there. So easy tip is pull that back. But in terms of actually getting mobility, there's a couple things I like to do. And one is to open up your shoulder. You can grab the headrest on the other side. Can you see that, Harrison? From there, and then as you're driving, you can kind of turn into it a little bit and get a stretch on the front of that shoulder. So that's a really good kind of easy way. Obviously, you can only do one side. If you've got a road trip buddy, you can do your other arm while you're in the passenger seat. The other one I really like to do is to work on shoulder internal rotation, which is something that you can lose while you're driving, right? You're hanging on it here. And so all this in the front of the shoulder can get tight. So as you go, you can put that arm behind you and lean back here, making sure not to let that shoulder dump forward, but keeping it pulled back. That's a really good way to work on that piece there. And then obviously you can do both sides on that. Those are both really good options. And then another thing that you can do while you're driving to change your position is to take a sweatshirt. You have a nice clean strength and conditioning sweatshirt, and tuck it back here. And that's a really good way to let you sit upright if you're getting any back pain, if your hips dump behind you, you know, and you're someone that's a little bit flexion sensitive. You can shove that in there and it works really well. It works a lot better than those like lumbar support things. I think that those don't really do a whole lot for you. They don't really give you enough support or are big enough. So I like a rolled up sweatshirt is my kind of favorite thing. If I'm in the car for a long time, I make sure that I've got that to put in there. A towel would obviously work as well. And then the other important piece with that is, oh, I forgot about one thing. Your mirror, and this is not just for road trips, so this is for all driving points. You want to make sure that you have your rear view mirror adjusted at a point that it's up high enough that if you start slouching forward or going backwards and letting that head dip down, that you shouldn't be able to see out of it, or it should change the way that you see out of it. So, and that's just a cue for you to say, oh, I'm not slouching right now, or I am slouching right now. Let me sit back up a little bit more. So that's a tip that I use every single day when I'm driving. I make sure that I have my mirror up a little bit higher to ensure that I'm sitting up and not letting my neck drift forward, because I'm a neck drifter and I like to drive like this. So then, when you think about while you're getting gas and stuff, you can do a few easy stretches. I think just doing some easy bodyweight squats is a great thing to do. Making sure that you get some movement in when you get out of the car. So even if you're just trying to stop quick for some gas, run a lap around the gas station, do something to get your body moving, and then you can use some stretches. Like I got the truck here, you know, you can obviously throw your leg up there, do something like that. But I think anything that you can do, just move your arms around, try to open up your upper back, doing some squats. All of that stuff's fair game, and make sure that you get some movement in, even if you do 10 push-ups while you're pumping gas. I think that that's a really good way to sneak in some movement while you're stuck in the car for a long time. So next time you're on a long trip, give those tips a shot. Thanks, guys.